you always get triggered when we speak about apartheid. And when black South Africans are like, hey, at least apartheid was better, we had jobs, etc., etc. My question is, do you think black leaders across the African continent have what it takes to run their own countries?
Yep.
Have black leaders proven that they have the ability to do it? And this is beyond sabotage, because sabotage will always be there. Doesn't matter who you are. And in my opinion, and this is why I could never defend Andre de Ruyter at ESCOM, even though a big chunk of white people were defending him. When you are put in a position, whatever the position is, to manage a country, to run a country, to manage a state utility, and you are going to say, but the issues that people are stealing, and it is your responsibility to get rid of those people or to solve that problem. And if you're failing to do that, to defend your country against the West, maybe BRICS is becoming a problem, then maybe you're not the right person to be in charge there. Anglo Ashanti has left South Africa. They've delisted from the JSE, gone to the New York Stock Exchange. I believe Anglo-American is the biggest mafia to ever be in this country. And I believe they and subsidiaries that have come over time are actually the people that run South Africa and many African countries as well. And today they run it from America and other places. From what we've seen, do you really think black people have what it takes to run their neighborhoods, their towns, their cities, their provinces, their countries, to a point where black Africans today are not liking democracy anymore? Some of them yearn for arguable authoritarian, technocratic figures, Xi Jinping in China, Putin in Russia, where people are almost like, maybe we want apartheid back. Because for the things that actually matter to us, fuck representation, but to have food, to have institutions where we can learn real skills. Today, we have a black government where we don't know how to fix or to change a car tire, how to repair light, electricity issues, plumbing. Like, do you think black people actually have the power, bro, to actually run this thing properly, aggressively, and not report to business? Because this is one of the things I explain to people. China and Russia are the way they are because business doesn't dictate to government. Business comes underneath. Putin and Xi will decide who runs ESCOM. Realistically, in South Africa, our politicians, all the way to Cyril as president, they have to go and ask business for money and for assistance and for a mandate.
Well, the truth of the matter is that when people have this discussion, I always say, is South Africa better today under ANC, or is it better under apartheid? Were black people more comfortable under apartheid, or they're more comfortable now? The answer is simple. No one would be able to live in the apartheid scenario for just a day in the current South Africa because you're so spoiled. You guys have had it so nice, so comfortable. None of you would be able to live under a DA government for a day. I can guarantee you that. You guys go where you want, whatever time you want. When I first got to South Africa in 1999, that is how many years? 6 years after I got an independence. I'd park my car, and there'll be 2 other cars. And the party is full, thousands of people inside. And most of those people don't have cars. You don't see that anymore. A little young woman who hasn't done well at matric, she's passed, but she can't go to university, will work in a call center, earn enough money to get a car and to get a townhouse and to live a very comfortable middle-class life. Mm. That wasn't the case during apartheid.
Sure.
I told you, I always use this as a joke, that we used to go to the township, driving cars, get to the township, and you use taxi 2 as a means to get chicks. And we used to get chicks. You can't get
Streetwise 2, for people that don't know.
You can't get a woman on that anymore. Now, it might seem mundane, this example I'm giving you. It illustrates an escalation in the standard of living. You guys have got black people with businesses now, huge corporations. I was at a mine of a friend of mine recently, a South African boy, who's been able to invest 60 million rand worth of equipment on his own mine that he paid 90 million rand to get the mine. And now he's done exploration and everything. That's a black boy built by this South Africa. And 7 million other people were taken out of poverty to live like that. Right? Now, People take that for granted. You've become so comfortable that you take where you are for granted. For me, that difference of Black lives is the success of the ANC government. A success that is so much that Black people are beginning to expect so much. They want to live like Americans now. You guys live better than some Americans that I've seen in Bed-Stuy. You don't even realize that. South Africans go to holiday to France, to Paris. They wear designer clothes. You are now worried about designer clothes because your physiological needs and your lower needs are taken care of. Not for everybody, but for a greater majority. There's still people who are left behind who still need to be taken up. But that now means that Black middle class of Black South Africans that have these minds, that have companies, that have music companies, they now need to start investing in producing the manufacturing and jobs that is going to be given to other Black people. And the failure of that happening is not an ANC problem. It's a Black South African problem. When people go and drink R1 million at Konka, instead of investing that in a factory, that's not an ANC problem. ANC has played its part. It's done more than enough. But the Black South African has failed to turn a Lamborghini into a factory.
This is the Black middle class and the Black new rich.
And nobody's holding the Black middle class of South Africa accountable, but you guys spend money more than any other Africans. You guys spend money. You guys buy very expensive cars. And it's not only here in Zimbabwe. My brothers are doing the same. Hence we say, shut up. Don't tell us about ZANU-PF failing. They gave you, everybody in Zimbabwe can apply for a mining license. You can apply for land. You can rent land. You can farm. You can mine. You can start a business. You can start a factory. You can start brick making. You can even start making the little pebbles and stones that are put into tar and into foundations. If you're not doing that, if you haven't tried that, don't say ZANU-PF has failed. Say, I have failed. So that is the same with the Black South African. And if the Black South African has not invested in South Africa, but still hasn't invested in Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and so forth, he can't complain because the whites, when they have their money, they invest in South Africa and they also spread their wings to other places and make more money. Until we've done that and failed, we cannot say our governments have failed if they've given us the money in our hands, which is what you South Africans have, and in Zimbabwe, the opportunity and factors of production that we have. Let's take advantage of those first. And then let's fail at that.